Welcome, everybody, to the Useless Information Podcast. I am your host, Danny B, and my co-host is this handsome son of a B right here, Dick. You call him Dick. I call him Richard, but I call him a very good friend, mostly.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. What's up? How's everything been? It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been good, man. I think up here in the Central Coast, we're all getting sick. So it's all around like my friends and family right now. So I'm doing my best to like avoid it as best as I can. So
Shit.
yeah, man.
Keep
Yeah,
that.
man. I mean, like I'm starting to notice that I need to start drinking more water and taking care of myself so I can avoid these vermins. You know, I
Vitamin
need
D.
to do it.
Vitamin D. Get some of that.
Well, I realized that I'm never out in the sun. I'm
Mm-hmm.
always indoors working,
Mm-hmm.
and I go straight to from work to my car, straight to home, right in the house, and no sunlight.
Yeah.
I live in a really great area, but I avoid it. So I really need, which that means you go outside, mostly you're doing exercise. So I need that in my life. So
Yeah. And
I need to do a
that's
lot of that incorporating.
so I saw something that said like the reason that we get sick during wintertime is because of the lack of vitamin D. Because we're all covered up, we're always inside, and then summertime we're always outside. It's not has nothing to do with like being cold or the time of year. It's just that we don't get enough vitamin D. And just to tell you, like I supplement vitamin D and like all the time, and I rarely get sick. I never get sick during the wintertime. Knock on wood, of course, but like it's every year because I'm always taking during wintertime. I take extra vitamin D, and I never get sick. So get some D3 and just start pounding that shit. Doesn't matter how much you take. Like you can't like overdose on it or it's not too much. It's like I'll take like 10,000. It's like IUs is what they're called. I take like that every single day, which is like 2 pills of 5,000. It's just, and I'm never sick. So something to think about
Well,
if everybody's getting sick.
that makes complete sense. So anybody out there listening, that I mean, just look at. I mean, we don't have to be professional to really look at it.
Mhm.
In the perspective of like that makes complete sense, man.
Yeah.
Like and I've been doing well, so I'm not sick. I got a little bit of a like a 24-hour bug a couple weeks ago, but besides that, man, I'm doing good. Doing
Good,
good.
man.
I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for
Oh,
spring.
hell yeah, dude. It got like 75 here in Utah. And I was busting out all the sleeveless shirts and shorts, and I was out there, and I posted a couple of things like "Sun's out, guns out." I was like, "Ready, let's go!" Legit, like
Yes, sir.
April 1st, April Fools, fucking dumped snow yesterday. I was like, "You motherfucker, Utah, April Fools, 100%." I was like, "You asshole,
Psych.
psych!" Exactly what it
Psych.
did. But yeah, it was nice for like a week, and I was all excited. I was like, "Yeah, spring's here," but nope, good old Utah with its bipolar weather.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and it was just dumping rain, and now it's like, I mean, it's still kind of. It started being sunny, like where I work. I work like an hour away, so there's a huge difference. But yeah, man. I mean, I like it when it's really gloomy out here. I'm not gonna lie, I really do enjoy it. A lot of greenery, so it kind of gives me like the Goonie vibes. I want to stay indoors. I want to adventure in my house and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm definitely, the lack of vitamin D, man. I need to get the hell outside. I'm ready for spring. I'm ready to start doing like yard work. Like I'm
Yeah.
excited to do yard work and shit.
Yeah.
But man, my shoulder's been jacked. I don't know if I slept on it wrong or whatever, but it has this huge shooting pain from the top of my neck all the way down to my sciatic nerve, man. And it is killing me. And I want to do a quick shout out. I know you want to do a shout out as well. Quick shout out to Andrea Woobleding from high school, Little Rock High School. She used to give me the best arm massages and the neck massages, like in front of my lady too. It was so great. And I was like, oh, it's like, you shouldn't be doing this. But every time, man, I'd come back from PE, she would do that. And it was so, oh my gosh, it was amazing. So shout out to Andrea, man. She was one of the best. And she didn't give a fuck who she did in front of.
Nice.
Savage move.
She was like Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, that's how it was. And I
Yeah.
was like, as soon as I was approaching, she was doing that shit at the lunch table. I was like, yes, I
Damn.
was doing the same shit.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. So my shout out, of course, today's while we're recording this is April 2nd, and My oldest daughter turns 27 today, June. I love you. Happy birthday. I know you do listen to this, so I just wanted to shout out your birthday. It'll probably come out after your birthday, but as we're recording this, that girl is the one that changed my life, the very first one out of the four. But if you knew me back then, I was kind of like a wild child, and that she kind of calmed me down for a while once I had her. And so now she's 27. I can't believe that because I feel like I'm still 27. So can't believe I have a almost 30-year-old daughter. But shout out, happy birthday, Junie. I love you.
Happy birthday, girl. Enjoy your day. You are definitely loved by this man. So happy birthday.
Yep.
We have a really cool show for you guys today. And we won't try to keep you as long as we have been, but the topics we have are very, very interesting, man. And honestly, like I had to send you like kind of like the pick of the crop, man, because there's so much shit going on.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest things that we want to start off with this podcast is the Snow White global reaction. And I, me personally, dude, I really wanted to see this movie because everybody was shitting on the Joker too. And me personally, I enjoyed it. I
Mhm.
really liked it. So at this point, I'm kind of like coin flipping Rotten Tomato reviews and all that other type of stuff. So I gave it the weekend. I wanted to see what the box office was going to say. And boy, the hundreds of reviews and the numbers from the box office does not lie. And you if you're a traditionalist, especially with Disney movies, I'm pretty sure you were horrified by this whole new concept and storyline. And the fact that Gal Gadot can truly not fucking act at all. It's like she is the fact that she can get a role right now. If you have not seen her when she's playing Wonder Woman in like the Justice League and she's saying Kal-El, she's like, Kal-El. It is so fucking F-rated acting that she's getting roles and now she's in this big flop of a movie. It's like, stop it. You
Yeah.
guys are just shit all over our childhoods. Like they really did. And I'm not even excited to ever see this movie, even when it comes out to Disney Plus. Actually, to be quite honest with you people, I haven't seen a live action movie since Beauty and the Beast, which, by the way, that was really, really good.
I agree.
So, so I don't know what these live actions are all about. If you're changing the story up, you're brutalizing half of the people that are going to go view this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. The Beauty and the Beast, I agree. But it stayed true to the actual storyline. And it was basically the same movie, just, it was live action. And
Yep.
now they're coming out with all these other live action that are away from the story that isn't following the original. And the originals are classics. You can't change the classics. I grew up with, a lot watching all the Disney movies, and my sister will tell me all the time that was her favorite memory as a child, as a baby, because we're like 9 years apart, of me sitting there with her on the couch watching Disney movies like Snow White, like Sleeping Beauty, like all those, right? And those are her favorite movies. And Snow White was definitely one of my favorites. And I haven't seen it. I'm not gonna see it. And hearing that they changed it and they changed the whole storyline to make it, I guess, more modern and more woke, like that's just stupid. It's just dumb. Like I don't understand why they did all that. It's just keep the same story.
I think it really just started off on a bad foot because you had oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. The dwarf from Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
He started it off by saying this is insulting, with these dwarves and being in this movie or not getting the movie, whatever the case may be. It just started off really bad. And if I got that wrong, please, I'll try to fact check it throughout the podcast just so I know what I'm really saying. But he started it off. So they went, so they, first off, if you saw what they were going to use for the people as the dwarves in live
I
action,
saw
it was more
that.
fucking terrifying
It
than the
was
CG they
horrible.
came out with.
Yeah.
It was really bad. So even though people are shitting on the CG, go back and look what they did and what the upgrade was. It's a way better choice.
Yeah.
Um uh So that happened, and then you have the main actress, was it Rachel Zegler?
Mm,
Her just shitting on the entire movie, the whole 1937 movie, and you got to say it out loud, people. 1937. This
yep.
was before fucking World War II. How are people thinking back then?
Mhm.
And by the way, Snow White in its original form is not a bad movie at all when it comes down to diversity or anything. It's a typical love story where the prince saves like the ultimate princess in the long run, with a really cool storyline with animals and dwarves. It's actually a really cool storyline,
Yeah, it
a
is.
jealous stepmother, wants to be the best. This one who's innocent and pure wants to just, live with these dwarves and gets caught up in some bullshit,
Yeah,
just caught up in somebody, a fake person, and then it gets rescued by somebody. I mean, it's a great story. How can you not like that? How can you change that up after it is possibly one of the greatest Disney movies of all time?
because Disney's been trying to be so woke and trying to be so like, that's the way it is. It's like Disney's trying to change everything to try to be like, oh, like PC, if that's what you want to call it. They're trying to go woke, and now they're going broke.
People, I hope you're not getting offended when this guy's saying they're going woke and they're going broke, but it's true. It's like if everybody loved the original, why would you change it? Like, why would you want to make it better? Quentin Tarantino really made a really good point when it came down to like sequels of movies that are just really well written and produced. He said that the first three Toy Story movies were so well written that after the third one, he was like, it was perfect. He's like, I don't ever want to see anything else outside of it. They did it perfectly.
Yeah.
He's like, I have no interest in four. I have no interest in five. Why would you come out with a Snow White 2? Why would you remake Snow White as an entirely different story in live action? It doesn't make none of it. Like the people that are coming up with these ideas and presenting them to Disney, I have no idea what their credentials are. But I would never, like, hey, why don't we remake Jurassic Park, but instead they're like fucking chickens, but they're the size of Jurassic,
Yeah, we
size
don't want
of
to
dinosaurs or
we don't want
whatever.
to offend the dinosaurs, so let's make them chickens. You know,
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
that's
exactly. We don't
that's
want to make
basically the
them,
same shit.
yeah, because people would be scared of them. It's
We
like
don't
they're
want
never.
people scared. We don't want people screaming, so let's make them like cute little chickens and still call it Jurassic Park. That's kind of what they're doing.
So
They're like, we don't want to offend anybody with the 1937 story, so let's make it different. Let's make the
yeah,
woman
so
like the empower women and all this stuff. Well, it's the story of she, like you said, she falls in love and the guy, or she falls asleep, right? Because the jealous
poison apple.
stepmother with the poison apple, and then true love's first kiss comes and get right, all that, and
Mhm.
that's it. And that's a basic love story from hundreds of years. It's been the same basic love story, and that's fine. Why not just remake the same movie that was made then, instead of trying to make it for a better age? Make a different fucking movie. If you want to do that shit, go ahead, Disney, make another woke movie, but don't change the classics. It's stupid, and they
Wouldn't
see
it
it
be
happen.
wouldn't it be the craziest shit if they just did a remake where they try to make every character look almost identical to the original and they just like kept it to the same
Why
storyline,
not?
just did everything. I mean, exactly. Like, why not? I think
It's just
people
live
would just be like,
action. It's the same story, but live action, like they did with Beauty and the Beast. Why not just fucking do that? But they wanted to change it all up. Like I said, they to be more, to not offend people. But who's being offended? 1% of the population? Who cares? Let's make the same movie that we did, because that's what people love. If it was the same movie, if it was a classic, like came out in 1937, people would flock to it because that's what people want to see. They don't want to see this bullshit woke fucking nonsense. Nobody wants to see that. And it's proven with the box office. They didn't make any money. They're losing tons, millions on this thing. Millions.
so so I was so I guess the budget was 230 to 240 million.
Yeah.
209 million. So I guess they have to double that to break even.
Mhm.
but that's not including marketing and all that stuff. So
Mhm.
I hear that they have to reach around 7 to 800 million to break even on this movie. And boy,
Not
dude,
even
that
close.
there's no fucking way at all, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so crazy to even think about this. Like we have to make $1 billion to break even. Imagine what a fucking Avatar movie would have to break,
Yeah.
just to break even. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, but
Holy
they
moly.
make that money and then some.
Oh,
They
yeah.
yeah, so that's the thing, is because those movies are amazing. And then you see, you know, all these Disney movies that are coming out, and anything that Disney's trying to touch is just like, it's stupid. It's not making any money. It's losing them money. They need to fucking realize that now. Like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this anymore because it's losing
You know
us
what, dude?
money.
You know what, dude? I started watching uh Daredevil, the new Daredevil Born Again.
Mhm.
And I didn't watch any of the Daredevils prior. I didn't watch the Punishers or anything like that. That's all tied together. Cause I'm like, you know what? I kind of just really got away from all Marvel in general. I haven't watched any of the Marvel movies really. Like I never went to the theaters. It's like gotten really bad. I think Disney has just brutalized a lot of sagas and franchises. I'm like, and you can talk about Marvel, you can talk about fucking Star Wars, you can talk about all the franchises of live action
And
that
let's
they've
not
done in
talk
the
about
past 10
Star
years.
Wars, dude. I'll fucking go
Yeah,
off,
I
dude. Like,
mean,
they're just
yeah,
ruining Star Wars. And that's my
yeah, it's
number
they're
one favorite. Like, that's, I was born in 77 when the first Star Wars came out. And, you know, that's my biggest franchise, biggest thing to me. And the Disney's just fucking ruining all of it.
yeah,
And
they're
it's
doing
pissing me
doing it
off.
dirty.
Oh, yeah.
They're
I won't
doing
even
it
watch this
dirty,
stuff
man.
now. Yeah. And so it's like, yeah, they're really doing it dirty. When I found out that they were going to own Star Wars, I was like, oh, this is going to be ridiculous. This is going to be terrible.
It's like George Lucas could have just did like your typical Rolling Stones tour. It's like, hey, how about every 20 something years I just release, or every 5 to 10 years I release a movie, like maybe in order. Maybe I release the first one, and then 5 years later I'll release the second one, and then we'll build it up to like to something else. I don't know. He doesn't have. We don't need all these little mini sagas and shit. I think they're making so many of them. I haven't even caught up with any of them. Like I haven't watched any of them,
Yeah.
and it's really sad, dude, because I don't want the storyline to change so much and see stuff that makes me kind of cringe and uncomfortable
Yeah.
during a, a show that I've, like you said, grew up loving.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're trying to make
So
woke things in there. Like, they're putting like, lesbian love in there and all that stuff. Like, it's not necessary. You don't have to do all that. And they're trying to put it all
yeah,
in there
it's
to be
not
more PC.
bad.
Like, it doesn't make the movie or show better to do all that stuff.
Right.
Just like, you don't have to have that. And people are they're canceling it. They're not watching it, because of that stuff, because they're trying to, like I said, like 1% of the population, try to make 1% of the population happy with this stuff. And it's backfiring on them drastically. So I won't
Yeah.
watch like the new series. The only series that I do say was really good, and it's just because Jon Favreau did it, was The Mandalorian. And if you haven't watched that, it's fucking great. But every other series
I
is
watched the
dumb.
first, I watched the first season of that and I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
But I started watching the Daredevil one and
Mhm.
they went to like, for what I see, like in old school, like Punisher scenes, like they went like hardcore violent on this one. And they're realizing, you know what? This is what entertaining people. Like people are sick fucking individuals.
Yeah,
Like we really are. We like our
we are.
entertainment factor has a lot to do with uncomfortable things that most people generally would not talk about in public.
Yeah.
So you know so they started doing that and really incorporating great storylines to this, and I'm so excited, man. So I'm starting to see a little phase, and now Marvel is doing fucking Secret Wars and Doomsday. Holy shit,
Holy shit.
with all the
Yeah.
original cast of the first series. Oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm so fucking excited, dude.
Yeah, I was
And I
excited
think
about that too.
they're just realizing like, hey, let's just stick to what we are good at and what people
Yeah.
are. And if people are willing to still go see these people and these actors are willing to play these parts, why not? We
Yeah.
can make $10 billion off these two fucking movies.
Mhm.
Guarantee they can make billions off this movie.
Yeah.
It is going to be so goddamn good.
Yeah.
Sorry to say that, but I'm so excited. And I see a shift. But this was, I think, the last straw because this movie was in production for like two. Are you out of here? Yeah, sorry. All right, it's all right.
Bye.
Hey, Richard says bye. um, but I think this has been in production for like during COVID. So it should have been out a long time ago and they should have learned their lesson from there. But now they got a fucking, kick in the dick. And I think hopefully they'll move on and realize, their errors and just know that we want originality. We don't want anything switched up at all.
Yeah.
The, f- I, this has nothing to do with race at all. I love everybody. The color means nothing to me. But the fact that people are going to change the entire cast of Harry Potter for the new HBO series and make it all black, I guarantee you that is going to be up to that same standard as Snow White.
Yeah.
You are fucking killing me, people. You're killing me, Smalls. Stop it. Why? It's unnecessary. You can incorporate characters, but the fact that you put an all black cast as every single main character that we grew up over 8 fucking movies of, it's like you're going to give us a culture shock.
Yeah, it's just not necessary. It's just not necessary. And again, it's just to cater to people so that they can say, "Oh, look, we made Harry Potter, but we made them all black. Look at us. We're with it. We're with the scene. We're woke." And that's the only reason. It has nothing to do with race. It's just the fact that like you can't change characters that are so iconic and just change them into a completely different person. You have these images of this person, of whatever it is, of whatever that character is, and it shouldn't be different. That character is a character, and that's like saying like, oh, let's make Yoda, let's make him blue now instead. Like instead of green, like no, let's make him blue now because no, we just want to like we don't want to offend anybody that's green, so let's make him blue.
That bothered me so much when you said that.
Yeah,
like really,
right.
That really
So it's like because you have this iconic image of this character, and now you're just going to change him, and it has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with race at all. It's just you don't change that iconic character. You don't do that. It's just stupid. And the only reason they're doing it is to be woke. It's just to be like, look at us, that's it. And it doesn't make any sense. It's stupid.
I don't know who would be. I mean, I guess there's really no ambassador for a race or for lesbian couples, but I would like to know, like, hey, does seeing lesbian couples in Star Wars, episodes, does that make you cringe? Or when the Harry Potter series come out, I would like to ask, a black individual that loves Harry Potter, the original series, and like, hey, does this at all make you kind of cringe? Because I know I don't mind lesbians. I don't mind lesbians doing their thing in the bedroom, but in a Star Wars outfit, bothers the shit out of me. It's like unnecessary, And I'm not trying to be like I need a heterosexual, I need that type of relationship on the screen. But since the day I was born, that's all I have ever seen, you know?
Yeah.
And I lived in Palm Springs for 6-7 years. So it was all around me. It doesn't bother me. It's showing a sign of affection. But when I see two actors purposely having to do this scene to cater to a group that may or may not even want to see this, kind of just throws it, like I said, coin flip. It's another coin flip.
Yeah.
So, but like, you really said it perfectly, it's unnecessary.
Exactly. It's unnecessary, and it's only for 1% of the population that wants to see that. And so you have to really look at it that way. And the numbers I'm throwing out is just like saying, it's this much of the population that really cares about that. I don't know if it's 1% or 5%, but it's this much of the population that wants to see that shit. And the rest of us don't want to see that. It's just like, it's not necessary. So, but lesbians, do your thing. I don't care.
Yeah, do your thing. Disney, stop doing your thing with live action and just learn.
Stick to Marvel movies.
Yeah, and leave Star Wars alone.
Just leave Star Wars alone. Please.
Yeah, there's plenty of storyline with Marvel that you can appease your audience for the rest of your fucking life. Like you can just literally do every single era in there's so many comic books.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I know this was something that I kind of sent you last week. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, people, I want to show you how things are rocking these days. It says, "Get in, losers. We're doing freedom shit."
Fuck yeah. Woo!
So I hope everybody is going to see the fruits of the labor of Doge soon. I don't want to get into that, but man, it's like, fuck, things are looking great, people. And
Yeah.
then now Trump just dropped these tariffs on everybody, and he did a comparison with each country or how much tariffs they're slapping on us to how much he's just increasing the 10% of. And it's fucking so funny because we are like 50% less than what people are charging us. It's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's
So
totally
fuck you
fucking
guys
great.
that were giving us shit on
I
that
know.
post,
Fuck
you
all of
fuckers.
you. We were fucking
You
right.
fucking assholes.
We were fucking right. It's not going to work. They're not going to do it. Well, it's fucking working, motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're fucking, what is it? Japan or China is charging us 99% tariffs on fucking rice. It's like, fuck you guys.
Fuck your rice. Fuck your rice.
Okay, next subject, dude. I sent this to you last week, and we were kind of like debating, like, is this real? Like,
Yeah.
I know you'll look into it, but the New York Yankees torpedo bat.
Yeah.
So, as we are recording this, your Dodgers are 7-0, best in the league.
That's
Fucking
right.
awesome.
That's
My
right.
team is my fucking Atlanta Braves, baby. Winless and fucking 0-6, baby.
They just,
I don't know if I'm
yeah.
I don't know if I'm proud of that, but if my Chargers were 0-6 in football, my season would be over. I fucking would be devastated. But the fact that I have 100 and some more games to play, I think I'm good. Like, I'm not going to stress out until the All-Star break. So,
right. Exactly.
But so I don't watch baseball, like I said. But I guess these Yankees were just belting fucking home runs out the first 3 games. I guess what was it, like 9 the first game and 15 in the first 3?
Yeah, Judge had like 3 in one game, and first 2 games he had 4 already. It's like crazy.
Which, by the way, Aaron Judge does not use this torpedo bat. He's just built like a brick shithouse, so he doesn't need it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's part of my point with these things. It's like, are they necessary? So,
well, let's elaborate on this torpedo bat if nobody's familiar about what we're talking about, because I had to look this up myself because I didn't understand the dynamics. I mean, I just thought like the thickness of like the bat is at the end of it, where you're assuming you're going to hit, most of the balls.
Yeah. Sweet spot.
Right? Mm-hmm. Sweet spot. There you go. So I guess what the diameter of, or like the ratio of what the MLB, puts on these baseball bats, they pretty much just took the thickness and just took it down to like more closer to the hands.
Well, what they did was they analyzed where each hitter was hitting from. So there's a guy that maybe he gets jammed a lot, which, he's swinging at balls that are good, but the way he's swinging, he's hitting it on the handle. So what they did was, which baseball is all analytics and numbers and all that kind of stuff now, and I hate it.
Moneyball.
It's Moneyball. Moneyball ruined baseball for me, but I still watch and I still love the sport, but it's so different now than it was when I grew up watching it. And so what they did now with the bats is they said, okay, well, this guy hits the ball here. They analyzed every single swing and every single hit, foul ball, fair ball. They hit it from at this spot. So we're going to make a bat that moves the sweet spot to where he swings the most, where he hits the ball the most. So if he's getting jammed, we're going to move it down a little bit. If this guy hits the ball off the end of the bat too much, we're going to make the sweet spot a little higher up and just moved it around for each person. And it's something that they spent years studying to figure it out. And they were using them a little bit last year, but nobody was talking about it. Last year they started coming out, and this year the Yankees, because of everything they did in the first couple games, they're like, whoa, they're using these bats. Like, what's going on? And now it became a big thing. But that's basically like how they work is they're specially made for each individual batter based on analytics.
Yeah, these look fucking weird, man. I had to look it up last night because I just couldn't understand because how they describe it. It's funky, dude. I went through so many videos and so many articles where it was just like sweet spot. I'm like, why don't you just put a fucking bat up and tell me where you're telling me the sweet spot? Just like for dumb people that don't know what
Mm.
baseball is all about. Like, I'm a fucking idiot. So I don't know what, they're talking about. So I looked up this video. This guy just broke it down so perfectly. I'm like, gosh, this is exactly what I needed.
Mm.
And I think it looks funny, but you know what, dude? If somebody is like batting like like a 187 or some shit like that, if you can just boost that up to a 2.25 dude with this bat, you've already just, you've already just, benefited the team, like
Yeah.
Moneyball. You moneyballed it,
Yeah. Yeah. But what I don't agree
So
with it is like, I heard this argument and I somewhat agree. I heard this argument where like they were, how like Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, they don't let them into the Hall of Fame because they're in the steroid era. And so they broke all these records, but they were all juiced up. And it's 100% that they were all juiced up. And so they're saying, okay, well, they're not allowed in the Hall of Fame. So if you're going to let these bats that basically changed the game, then let those motherfuckers in because they were altering their body. These people are altering their bats. I think that it's a good argument. Let them in the Hall of Fame if you're going to have these new bats that are going to make these people hit better. The bat is going to make you hit better, not your talent, but the tool you're using is going to make you hit better. I think that let Bonds in because Bonds wouldn't have hit 73 home runs if he wasn't juiced up. He wouldn't have broke those records if he wasn't on steroids. So why not? Why not put him in the Hall of Fame? Put McGwire in the Hall of Fame? All those guys. I don't agree with the
so
whole.
you're kind of like looking at it as like a performance enhancer.
It is kind of a performance enhancer. It's stupid. I think that all the bats should be the same. There should be standardized bats for everybody, and then just certain sizes. You can use a big ass bat or a little bat, but the bats need to all be the same. The equipment needs to be all the same. You can't use this special bat that's going to make you hit better. I think it's stupid. I just think it's dumb. Let's go to aluminum bats. Let's do that. Let's just go to aluminum bats, and then people will be hitting the ball 600 fucking feet. You know what I mean? Let's just do that. We'll have to move the stadiums out. We'll move the stadiums to instead of 400, we'll make them 600, and we'll have 5 outfielders instead of 3. Let's do that. Might as well, right? If we're going to change the bats, let's just do all that. Fuck it.
Pitcher for the Marlins just hit a 650-yard fucking home run.
Exactly. Like,
but
why?
But you know what, dude? That just makes up a good argument in all sports. It's like, you know what? If you're going to allow the Yankees to come out with a new bat, let everybody have the ability to have a new bat.
Yeah.
And make it even across the playing field and shit.
Well, everybody's ordering them now, from what I heard. Like, I heard the Dodgers put in an order, and they had their guys analyzing shit. Now they're putting in an order for them. It's not everybody's going to be using them. It's like, great. Let's just ruin the game even more. Let's ruin my favorite sport. Let's just ruin it even more with these bats. I don't agree. I don't like it at all.
It's going to be even in like 5 years, dude. It's going to be so balanced out. It's going to be so like embedded in your brain, dude. It's like, oh yeah. Oh my gosh. He hit a fucking 350-foot home run. How weak. Last week he hit an 800.
Yeah, he hit 800. He hit 400-foot fly out.
Dude, like, can you imagine what Aaron Judge can do with a fucking torpedo bat like that? Like, to his specifications, like he's gonna fucking kill somebody.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to look at it this way. Oh fuck! Imagine the first person that gets dinged by one of those, dude.
Oh, the pitcher, gets hit in the head with one of those. Yeah,
or just a fan. Dude, just imagine you just get a skyrocket home run, dude.
Yeah, from Judge.
And some kid's like this with this fucking glove, dude, like the Sandlot. Just gets belted like the first fatality at a fly ball.
Yeah, shit. I don't agree with it at all. But like I said, only a few players were using it now, and now everybody's like, "Fuck this! Let's get those torpedoes, man." And I don't know.
I mean, let's see if it's gonna work or not. But you know what, dude? If it does, I mean, like I said, you make a good point. If everybody starts using these, and you start seeing somebody hitting 25 home runs a year and going up to like 37 to 40. Let those fucking home run gods in.
Yeah.
Let us remember how great that series was between those 3 monsters.
Yeah, exactly.
And just think about how much they were juicing up to entertain us. It's like fucking gladiators, dude.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire wake up in the morning. It's like, how much steroids am I going to do to beat this fucking guy today?
Yeah. You know what's funny? my argument for the steroid era, I fucking loved it. I don't give a shit. I think that they need to put asterisks by their home runs because, this is the juiced era. But it made the sport so much more like, I don't know if you probably didn't watch it during the time when Barry Bonds would come up. But every time he would come up, you would think he was going to hit a home run. And guess what? He pretty much did, because he would either walk or hit a home run. It was legit that crazy. There's no hitter, even like they say the best player in the game right now, Shohei Ohtani. He is not as scary as Barry Bonds was coming up. When he would come up, when I would watch the Dodgers play the Giants, I was like, fuck. So like he would come up with players on and the game on the line. It's like, this game's over. Nope, there it goes.
You're like, welcome.
Walking. Dude, they would walk him with the bases loaded. They would walk him with the bases loaded and walk in a run just so they didn't have to get 4 runs in. Like, that's how scary that guy was. And that's never happened. At that time, when steroid era was at its peak, you had 15 guys with over 40 home runs, right? Just to compare, last year there was like 4 or 5. Okay, and that was it. There was like 4 guys that had 40 home runs last year plus. And that year, that one year there was like 15 guys with 40 home runs. That doesn't happen. 40 home runs is like crazy. That's like beast mode. And at that time there were so many people juicing up that they were all hit. It was like 15 of those motherfuckers hitting 40 home runs.
Yeah, dude, like the best times in sports, when people were juicing up. Same thing with like the Pride and UFC days when they were all jacked, dude. I was like, oh man, dude, Alistair Overeem, dude, when that guy was jacked, holy shit! When he walked in the ring, I was like, oh my, he's gonna take someone's fucking head off.
Yeah, let him fucking do it, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's like, just leave it open. Leave it open to the playing field. You know, I don't know. There's a jiu-jitsu guy I follow named Gordon Ryan. He's the best jiu-jitsu guy in the world, like rated best in the world. And he goes to, I think it's called ACC. I could be wrong on this. Probably I am, but he's like won every single tournament for like the last 10 some odd years. Like, he hasn't been beaten like ever. And you know what? In the league he's in, they allowed steroids. And he's like, you know what, dude? If they allow it, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to be the fucking best in the world. And like, if they allow it, this is what you have to do. I train every day. I never take a day off. He never takes a day off. He takes steroids like everybody else does. He's like, why am I not going to take it if everybody else in my competition is?
Yeah.
Just let him go. If some people are going to use it, some people might do steroids and fucking still suck at their job.
Yeah. Yeah. There were still some people that, that were juicing up, that weren't hitting the 40 home runs. They were trying to, but it's like, it not only enhanced like your power and your strength, but it was, I guess what they were saying is it enhanced your like speed to the bat. Because bat speed is all about, like home runs are all about bat speed. It's not about your size. Like, look at this. Like, okay, you see how big Aaron Judge is, right? Aaron Judge is, 6'7" or something like that. And he's a giant, right? But then you got someone like Mookie Betts, who's tiny on the Dodgers. And that guy will hit 30, 40 home runs. And Judge will hit 50, 60. But you see, Shohei Ohtani's a beast. Yeah. Okay. But Mookie Betts
he's not Aaron Judge beast.
No, he's not as big. He's size, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, size-wise. Like, because Shohei's like 6'4", I think. He's a tall Asian dude. Like, you don't see a lot of tall Asian dudes, but this guy, he's a beast as well. I'm saying little guys like Mookie Betts. And the only reason Mookie Betts hits so many home runs, it's not his size. Because if you look at Mookie Betts, he's small. He has bat speed and he hits it on the sweet spot. And if you put one of those bats in his hand, Mookie's going to be hitting 60 home runs. I guarantee you. And he's a little dude. But it's not just size. It's all about like your bat speed. And taking steroids makes your bat faster as well, and adds the strength. So and then all you got to add to that for yourself is eye-hand coordination, and you're fucking hitting 73 home runs like Bonds did.
Let me ask you, dude, there was a video I saw of Tony Gwynn a long time ago, and people say Tony Gwynn is one of like one of the top 10, hitters of all time.
I think he's number one to me. I watched him play, and he was best hitter to ever do it. Yeah, I think so.
I saw a video of him a long time ago, and it's been embedded in my fucking head, and I hope it's not a prank, man. But he said he was out there on the field, and he's like, if you want to pitch me a ball with 3 different colors on the ball, tell me which color you want me to hit, and I'll fucking nail it. You'll see it on my bat.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. He was that good.
That's fucking awesome. I saw that video like 10, 15 years ago, and it's still, I'm like, that is incredible.
Yeah.
And everybody around him was like, yep, you can, you will. Don't bet him.
Yep. I don't know the exact stats on it, but if you look at how many times he struck out in his career, it was like this much. He barely ever struck out. He was, I mean, you can look at the stats. You can pull it up right there. he had years where he, only had a few strikeouts during the year. And he was a feared batter too, because
21.7 strikeouts per season on
yep.
average.
And
Over a
how many at
20-year
bats?
career, he had 434 times he struck out out of 20
See,
years.
see,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, 10,223 plate appearances.
yep. And there's people that there's people that strike out 200 times in a season, and his whole career he only struck out a little over 400 times. That's what I'm saying. He could put the ball wherever he wanted.
Wow.
He always made contact, and he was the best hitter. And like I said, growing up in the 80s, I watched him play against the Dodgers all the time, and he was the best hitter to ever come out. They say like Pete Rose, yeah, Pete Rose was great. He has more hits than anybody, but if you look at his statistics too, it's very similar. But Tony Gwynn just made everybody scared when he came up. The same as Bonds, but it wasn't a home run. It was like, if you got runners on, Gwynn will bring them in. Gwynn will move them over. Gwynn will do anything he can. And it was a pleasure to watch him play again, because they played the Dodgers a lot in the 80s and 90s, and it was a pleasure to just watch Gwynn come up. He was one of my favorite players, even though I can't stand the Padres.
That's so awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, man, it's so crazy to hear that, dude.
Yeah. Put one of those bats in his hand, he'll hit fucking 600.
No shit, dude.
Not
Like
600
like,
feet.
hey,
Like he'll hit his batting average will be 600.
that's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary to think that. Can you imagine if he's like, hey, Tony, he goes, hey, just point to anybody out there in the stands and I'll fucking hit him.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yep. Totally.
That's so great. I'm glad you clarify that, dude, because I didn't want that to be something that was like fake, because I thought that was so intriguing. But, because he says that and then you start seeing all these highlights and it's like, if you're not watching baseball, you just look like it's just a typical person, smacking the ball,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm glad you put clarification behind it, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. He was
not
the
10
greatest.
years of ruined feelings. But dude, so now that I've been watching a lot of TV, like a lot, like more TV than I've ever wanted to, but man, there's been a lot of great series out. I've been stuck on Yellow Jackets. Daredevil's been really good. And this series that I saw on Netflix, I had to send it to you.
Yeah,
just so
asshole.
I can get your I had to get your opinion, because I think, you know what, dude, there's really when it comes down to like mini series, mostly 4 to 6 episode series, I kind of feel like I get left. There's something left out. I think it could have went another maybe an episode or two. And maybe this 4 episode series could have gone maybe one more episode. But honestly, I think this show, Adolescence from Netflix, was almost a perfect fucking show, dude. It hit every single criteria of feels, emotions, everything, dude. And if you guys have not seen it, I actually got 3 pages worth of notes for you guys.
Oh shit!
Just in case.
Want to see my notes?
It's just mostly.
I don't have any.
I'm typing, and I have it in bold letters because I can't see. So that's
okay.
all it is.
Yeah.
So Adolescence premiered on Netflix on March 13th. It's a British crime drama. And I'll read the description of how Netflix describes it, because when I first saw it and I saw the trailer, I'm like, first off, a British anything, it's hard for me to get through because I can't understand half of them. So it gets really like wonky when they're like thick.
That, I don't know. I wanted to, before you start, the guy who helped write it, who is the dad, I don't know if it's Stephen or Stefan, but
Stephen
Graham, he's in my favorite movie of all time, Snatch. He plays Tommy in Snatch. And I don't know if you've ever watched Snatch, you can't understand half the shit they're saying. but that's the best movie that's my favorite movie of all time. And when I started watching it, when you showed it to me, I didn't know anything about it. I just put it on Netflix and started watching it. And he comes on, I'm like, it's fucking Tommy. Fucking Tommy. What you gonna do with that?
I just first off want to say the trust this man has in me to be like, hey, I need you to take 4 hours out of your life and just trust me. I need your opinion.
Yeah.
I mean,
I jumped right on. I got off work and I popped it on and I watched 2 episodes one day, 2 episodes the next, and I'll get into my reaction. But go ahead. I just wanted to point that out because he is the mastermind behind it. I looked into it, and he had the whole idea for it based on other things that had happened. He's some things that had actually happened. It's not based on a true story, but there's some things that he wrote it based on, and he was one of the writers on it, and it's genius. So go ahead.
So after seeing, I mean, reading the description, this is what Netflix describes it, and I was kind of like caught on it. It says a family's world turns upside down when their 13-year-old Jamie Miller is arrested for murdering a schoolmate. The charges against their son force him to confront every parent's worst nightmare. So I was like, okay, this sounds interesting if it's going to be like English, like in English, it's in English, but like not British accent wise, like I was like, all right, I'll be hooked. But it was British. I was like, let's check it out. And then you see Stephen Graham.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, dude, I'll give you the main characters first off, because I don't want to jump off this. I had this set up perfectly. So it's starring Stephen Graham from Snatch, but I know him and I fell in love with him from Boardwalk Empire.
Yes.
When he played Al Capone. He was also in Peaky Blinders, and he was also in Venom. He was also in Venom, believe it or not.
Yes.
So he is the father of the movie. Ashley Walters, the only thing, he is the black police inspector, or the DI. That's what they call it, the police inspector. They call it a DI.
Okay.
The only thing that he played in was Get Rich or Die Trying, the 50 Cent movie. I'd never seen it, so I don't know anything about it. And I guess the interrogator that's in the movie, Aaron Doherty, these are all the people that they put on Netflix. So these are like the main characters that they advertised. So I don't know anything about Aaron Doherty. I guess they're popular, in Britain and shit like that. But the one person they took out, or they did not mention at all, was fucking Owen fucking Cooper. He is the 13-year-old protagonist in this show. And I'm telling you right now, people, this kid is going somewhere in life.
Hell yeah.
The acting, first off, the acting in this whole entire show is the best acting you can possibly get out of any type of situation, any type of person, in the craziest scenarios ever.
Yeah.
And this 13-year-old, he wipes the fucking floor with everyone. And the crazy thing about it, it's his first role.
Yeah.
First ever role.
The other thing that makes it even more great is it's one camera through every episode, and it's not CGI. Shot. It's one single shot and one take. But they did do several takes to get it all right. I think each one was filmed about like 10 times. But what you see is just one take. It's not stitched together. It's one fucking take of the entire hour episode, and one camera. It's crazy. Even when they had the drone flying, like they attached the camera to a drone, and then the camera flies off to the murder scene where you see the dad get out of the van and go to the murder scene. That's a drone. They had to attach a camera to a drone, the same camera they've been carrying around through most of the episode, attach it to a drone, and then fly it over there. It's crazy how that was done.
Funny you bring that up, because that's what I was like, that's fucking sweet, dude. They're just like at eye level, and then it just goes up, and then it goes to the murder scene. And then you're like, it's not that fucking far away from the school. Oh, dude, this show is so good. People, I don't want to give any spoilers, but this, I mean, actually, you know what? If you guys got to see it, but it's 4 episodes, and they didn't have names for the episodes. And I'm just going to go, there's 4 episodes, and I will give you my personal title for each one, and not give you, not try to give too much spoilers, but we'll get more into it afterwards. But episode 1, I call it Raid Day.
Mm-hmm.
So first episode pretty much talks about, Jamie getting arrested, and the family pretty much just in shock about, hearing this, because they have no idea like this was going on and shit.
Yeah.
Episode 2, School's in Session.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much Ashley Walters, who plays the DI, he's a dad of the student that's in the school that Jamie was in, and he goes around and he's pretty much, talking to the kids in episode 2. Just breaking down, trying to get information more about, about the protagonist and shit like that. Episode 3, Are You Scared? And
Yeah.
this one was really good, dude. This was when Jamie, the protagonist, we were introduced to the interrogator that breaks down his mental health while he's arrested,
Yeah.
getting ready for court. And that was like you sit down sometimes and you're like, they spent one fucking whole hour and one whole episode on just this one room. And it's like it went by so quick. I'm like, oh God, the fact that you told me that Stephen Graham wrote this,
Yeah.
that makes it just even fucking better,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, like you wrote possibly one of the greatest shows of all time. Like,
Oh yeah.
seriously, in my personal opinion.
Oh yeah. That
Um,
whole scene where he's just like going up and down, and then you see his like temper come out, and then it goes down, and then he's like, I'm sorry, like I'm just, you see that what happened is possible. What is alleged could be possible with that temper coming out. And he slaps the hot chocolate away, and like I was like, holy fuck, this kid is crazy. And the acting, like you said, that kid, and to memorize all those lines and just go all the way straight through and just flawlessly go from emotion to emotion, dude, that episode was so good.
it's like who taught you how to fucking act like this?
Jeez, I
You
know,
know?
I know, I know.
And then the interrogator, she was great. Erin
Yeah.
Doherty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Like she was sitting like at some point, like you see her. I was telling my wife, I'm like, is she scared? I'm like, babe, you wouldn't let no fucking 13-year-old talk to you like this. You'd fuck him up. And she's like, I'd lay this kid out. But this, like the girl's like this. She's like sunk in her chair. She is terrified of this child. And like, dude, Owen Cooper, Jamie, who plays Jamie, he is just people were not over exaggerating by how good this kid played.
Yeah,
Like
it
it
was
is
so good.
phenomenal acting.
Yeah.
Episode 4 is called Coping. And pretty much the last
Yeah.
episode is just the family dealing with, everything almost a year later. So we don't want to get too much spoilers. I mean, just based off those titles, you can kind of get like an idea and kind of just piece together what you kind of want to think this is going to be about. But once you watch it, if you're a parent, this is why I had to tell Richard about it. Oh, wait. Before I get into this, episode 2, while the DI is talking to a bunch of these kids, I thought it was very interesting that they brought up the red pill movement because this really ties in with the reasoning around this whole story and premise. A lot of bullying. Red pill movement is pretty much the premise of 80% of women love 20% of men, and you have to get on that level. And the 20% of men pretty much is like top dog status, shitting on women. Everything you have to do is all about me, blah, 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 or you're part of the red pill movement where you're the victim of being treated like shit by a woman and you're like the victim and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of that has been incorporated into that episode, which kind of throws you in all different directions of thinking like, is he a bad person? Did this person deserve it? Or like, how are you thinking about this whole thing now this
Yeah.
brought up? But I had to look into the red pill thing and I didn't even know it was even a fucking thing. Like the fact that a man's out there being a victim of being played by a woman is fucking hilarious to me. you know, it's like we've all got hurt by a woman, but I've never met a man that's been like, I don't have any friends to be like, yeah. I'm like, dude, you're gonna come out tonight? No, man, I'm still hurt. Aaron broke my heart. It's like, really? It's like, come on, man. It's like you have to at some point brush your shoulders off, learn from your lesson, learn from your issues that you had, and move on. After I got a divorce from my wife, my next relationship, we broke everything down. Like, this is what we are not going to, this is what we did in our previous relationships, and this is what we are not going to do. This is how we're going to switch, fix things up so we can be better together. You
Yep.
know, not like we're going to get together like, hey, this is why our previous relationships fucking went to shit, and we're going to keep doing the same thing, and we're going to hope that everything works out for the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. Let's just,
It's like,
it's insanity. Let's just do the same thing and see if it works.
yeah.
Expect the same
So
result, expect different results. Like yeah, that's a good point. That's definitely a good point with relationships. I didn't have to do that. It's just like, I told myself, like, I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to settle for this again. I'm not going to go into that. And I got lucky and found someone that is complete opposite of who I'd been with in the past in an amazingly good way. So but I see your point. Like, you don't want to go into a relationship doing the same shit. That's like not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look at all your relationship, and you can't ever think like, yeah, they may have broke up with me, but why did they do that?
Mhm.
Where did I go wrong? Where
Mhm.
did they go wrong? It can't just be one sided unless your partner is just doing meth and stealing all your rent money and shit like that. It's like, then it's kind of one sided.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But so yeah, so they brought that up in episode 2, and reading about that and watching videos, because I mean, and with this show, people, I feel that I wasn't really open with my family about high school feelings I was going, with my sexuality and just women and all this other shit. I wasn't too comfortable talking about shit like that, and I feel that it's still the same way now with like my kids and like the new generation and shit. But to hear that they have like secret codes with like phone emojis and stuff like that, it really fucking blew me away, because I told you no more purple hearts sent to me ever.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
if you guys
promise.
don't know, purple hearts, I guess to teenagers, if you send it out to the opposite sex or someone you're attracted to, it means that you're horny. And if you send out a yellow one, it means that you're interested. And I guess if you send a yellow with a pink one, you're not interested. You're interested, but not in a sexual way. So I didn't know anything about that. And this was put in that movie. And it's like, look at this. This is what they're sending one another. It's like, I was like,
Yeah.
dude, what the fuck? So it's like technology. I was thinking about it, and I was talking to like my coworkers. It was like, you know what? The internet is possibly the greatest invention ever in human history, but it's the absolute worst, because I've talked about it. We've all talked about this before. It's kept us indoors. It keeps us away from communicating with people we love,
Mhm.
and we simplify everything into fucking, you know, LMK, LOL,
Mhm.
all that shit. And the fact that now that they took "I want to have sex with you" and put it into a fucking purple heart, it bothers the shit out of me. So people, this whole show, parenting wise, will make you open up your eyes to your children. It
100%.
truly, it truly will. And it makes me appreciate my kids more because of just the little information of the shit that I didn't know just based off this show. It's like, fuck, man, this is a whole different world these kids are living in nowadays.
Yeah, it
Like a
really
whole
is.
different thing.
It-
It's like, it's not, I think when we were growing up, dude, it was go to school, do your work if you want to, fucking avoid a fight, hang out with friends and lunch, go home. And that was it. I
yeah.
think now there's just more of like, it's that plus social media, this and that. I think these kids are just so like have to be on such a different level and keep up with the Joneses when it comes down to technology and shit, that it's just like more of an added burden at a place that they don't need.
Yeah.
And I hope they really ban fucking, phones in school. I really do.
Yeah, they're
Like
starting
if
to
you
do
got
that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like if you guys want the fucking answers, that shit better be on the back of the book.
Yeah.
If you were lucky, you got the answers in the back of the book.
They're starting to in
Stupid
some
teacher,
yeah.
stupid teacher that didn't know.
Yeah. They're from what I heard, they're starting to take phones away from kids, and like they put them in like little bags, and at the end of the day you have to go and like unlock your bag. There's certain schools
Just
doing
like at
that, and
concerts.
yeah, just like at concerts, the same bags. And they're starting to implement these things. My daughters tell me that in their schools, like if their phone's out, they get it taken away. And like she's like, I got my phone taken away today, but I was just looking at the time. I was looking at to see if mother texted me because something, and she's like, my phone got taken away. And so they're not allowed to have their phones out at school at all. They can
That's
have
sweet,
them, but they're
dude.
not allowed to have them out. And they're really not even allowed to have them out when they're outside, like at lunchtime, stuff like that. They're not supposed to have their phone at all. And if they get caught with it, they can have it
Wow.
for emergencies and something like that, so they can use it to call if there's an emergency. But they're not allowed to have their phones out. So they are starting to implement that, and I'm totally for it. When my daughter told me, I was like, good. I was like, you shouldn't even take your phone to school. I mean, you live right next door to the school.
Yeah.
So take it for emergencies, like take it for emergencies, like if you have to call your mom. But when I was a kid, we didn't have that, and if I needed to call my mom, I would go to the office and call my mom. You know
Isn't
what I
that some
mean?
shit, dude? It's like
Yeah,
this shit had to be serious where you had to walk your ass to a fucking grumpy ass receptionist or a fucking old ass nurse. Is like, can I call my mom? I'm sick. Like, you're not sick, honey. Go
yeah.
back.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're not sick. You just don't want to be here.
Yeah, but then you had to I was terrified to call my mom. Like, I'm really sick. She's like, you're not fucking sick, and
That's
I'm not driving
exactly
all
what
the.
I would get.
She's like,
You're staying in school. You're staying in
yeah.
school so the bus can bring you home because I'm
So I
not coming
wonder,
to get you.
people. I wonder if you're offended at all by hearing that schools are taking away phones from your kids, because I don't know how many people. Um, I don't know how many people are walking around on their phones at work, but the thing about it is, I don't do it. So why should kids be walking around with their fucking phones just neely dealy when they need to be focused on what they're there for?
Yeah.
So, um, what did you think about this show, dude? And by the way, I want to say again, thank you for trusting me with this show because it's heavy. It's heavy D.
Yeah, it definitely is. So it, like you said, it did make me feel like maybe there's things that I was doing wrong as a parent, and I need to be careful. I need to start looking more into how much my kids are on social media, things that are being said, because bullying's different now. Bullying is over the internet. Bullying is on social media. It's not like back when we were growing up. It was like if you're getting bullied, they were coming up to your face and pushing you down, and they were saying it right to your face. And now it's kind of keyboard warriors over the internet just telling them, this and that, and it could really affect the kids' mental health when they're on the internet too much. And also add that to the fact that they want to compare themselves to all these influencers. They see these influencers like, oh, I want to be like them, and then there's people on the internet telling them they're not good enough, and it leads to all these things that could happen, like what happens in this movie or the show, and then you know kids unaliving themselves and stuff like that, and it's not a good thing. So it makes me want to, because that's, I mean, no spoilers, but that's one of the things they were saying is it our fault? Is this something our fault?
Right.
I mean, and I look at myself like I'm lucky enough to have kids that are really well, like they're well centered. They're focused on school. They do a good job. They don't get into any trouble, and I'm lucky to have that. And I think it's because of the fact that I show them right and wrong, and I'm always there, and I'm always there if they need something. And I, but then at the same time, I think like, oh, well, or how much are they on their phones and how much are they doing all these other things that I don't know about? So am I not there enough? And it started making me question my parenting. And then I started looking at it, and that's why, like, when at the end I started really like tearing up, I was just like, am I doing a good job? Am I a good parent? Am I doing things the way I'm supposed to be doing? Am I, and I did start tearing up. I'm like, but then I started thinking, I have 4 kids and they're all fucking great kids. They're, they have, they're, like I said, doing good in school. They don't get in trouble. They're
They're not
smart. They're
pieces of
funny.
shit.
They're not pieces of shit. And
Yeah.
so then I looked at it. I said, you know what? I'm doing a fucking great job. I did a great job as a parent, and I taught them right from wrong, because that's all you can do. We had this conversation before, is you can only teach them what's right. You can't hold their hand and make them do it. And even if you try to like Ruby Frankie them and take their fucking room away to try to punish them, you can't fucking do that either. So you
Sleep on a beanbag, you fuck.
you fucking piece of shit. The devil is inside you. Sleep on a beanbag. Exercise the demon. So
Yeah, you're a bad dad.
I'm a bad dad, right? So
But it does make you think that way.
yeah, and after thinking, after watching it and reflecting, I was like, no, I'm a fucking great dad. I've done a great job with my kids. So yeah, it really hit home in a way. Like I was like, holy shit, so yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, it was. I gave it, like I said, I gave it a 9. I wanted to give it like a 10 because I think it's perfect. But I could have
Yeah.
honestly went one more episode if they. and this is just my personal feelings about it. I think they could have extended one more episode to kind of give us what happens to Jamie in the future. Like, I would have been so happy to hear that, dude. That would have been so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But they ended it on a good episode. I really enjoyed it. People, I really hope you go out and watch it. It's 4 episodes, 4 hours. It's literally, you will not be disappointed in this, and it really will open up your eyes to your kids and make you kind of think that, you know, do I know my child as well as I think I do? And honestly, no person after watching this can honestly say, yeah, I do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know,
100%.
so like, think about the time that you grow up in the era you grew up in. And after you watch this, the comparison will be fucking night and day. It's so baffling. It'll make you really think, damn, everything that I was raised thinking is completely the opposite world of what these kids are going through.
Yeah, it's something that we don't understand, and I'm going to look more into it and try to understand it a little more, because it's a completely different world with these kids these days.
Yeah. Well, I love you, bud. I don't know if I have any more to go based off of that, man, because now I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, damn, this show is heavy, but
no, it really is.
Like, you know, it's just, I like things that make you think outside the box. There's something that's just out of the norm.
Yeah.
You know, I don't normally watch shows like this. I don't want to watch shows that make me question my ability of parenting. You know, that sucks. I hate to be put in my head thinking that, you know, but it's just it's a story, you know, and this is what entertainment is about. And this guy wrote a really good show.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm reading Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson. I'm actually reading the book.
Yeah.
And the shit, like his language that he uses in here was back in the 70s and shit like that. And but how he thinks, I think how Hunter S. Thompson writes is like everybody's, what is those? He writes intrusive thoughts. That's how I think he writes.
Intrusive thoughts. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes.
In intrusive. There we go. So some of the stuff, like sometimes I'm sitting here just laughing my ass. I'm like, this is so fucking absurd, but this is how he writes, you know. Yeah. But I enjoy it. It's one thing that I'm not taking racially fucking, you know, comments in here offensive, because this is just how he talks, you know. And the same thing with this show, you know, I'm not going to look at it like, you know, we're all pieces of shit parents because we don't know our kids and technology these days better than they do. But man, we want, like I said before, we're pieces of shit and we want to be entertained by the shit that makes us fucking think and cringe.
Yep. Yeah, that's 100% true.
So I love you, bud. Thank you so much again for trusting me with this episode. And I always look forward to doing these podcasts, dude. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Sometimes when I listen to this stuff and how you're just so great, I think right now I'm like, you're the master. Like, honestly, like, I feel like when we do podcasts, like, I just want to be this guy's fucking producer. I just want to have everything ready for him. And let's just I'll just chime in here and there and we'll talk about some shit, man. But I think you bring out the best of me in these shows and you make me really analyze the stuff, the topics we're talking about. And you're making me a better podcaster, and I appreciate you, bud.
Yeah, same to you, man. Like, I feel the same way. It's like you're teaching me how to be a podcaster, and I'm having so much fun with it. And then we do these together, like start thinking about other things. Like, oh, I want to do an episode on this next week. And then, like you said too, like I'll do an episode and be like, fuck, I was going to do something about that. So we think a lot alike too. So
yeah, you took my pyramid fucking topic. I'm like, fuck.
Give your take on it. I'm telling you, like, it's such crazy shit, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like, oh gosh, yeah, we don't want to get back into it. So I guess we'll read up very soon, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this useless information podcast. Please go follow us on the Mind of Dick podcast and the Conference Call podcast. You can find these episodes on both platforms when we air it out within like a day or two afterwards after we record it.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Everybody, take care. Keep positive. Stay classy.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Okay. Recordings?